Welcome back to M Hood Fishing, everybody. That is about to change. It's in my face and my eyes right now, but soon it won't be. I just got to my local spot. We're gonna do a sunset session here. This is a neap tide. Neap tides kind of make you feel like you're stuck at low tide all day because there's not much of a difference between low and high when you have a neap tide day. This has been like this, looking calm like this probably all day. Now, however, this morning I woke up at 3 a.m. and I did that once I looked at the weather, and I did a bunch of stuff in the house and went back to sleep. I didn't come out to fish this morning because it was 50 degrees and blowing, windy, and I was like, no, we'll wait, we'll do the afternoon. And then out of the blue, right before shooting a fan mail video today, old Ray from Rig PFA, you want to go fish for shark, Grand Isle? So yeah, you're right. By the time this video goes public, I'm already back, by the way. But hopefully it was good. Hopefully this session is good. They're not always good, fishing neap tides, but the situation is that we're at a 13-foot level according to the gauge. That's our flood stage. The gauge at Carrollton is where I'm getting that data. And because it's a neap tide, look how much room I have from the water line to the top of my boot. That means I can easily come out here a good ways before we get that cold water down in there around the foot. Do some decent casting. I'm sure we're gonna catch something. Might even be a trophy afternoon. Fingers crossed. Got up to about 74 today, and it's actually going to get colder tonight. It's going to drop down to 48 degrees later tonight. So I did bring a hoodie for this session because we're in the 70s right now, but in about an hour and a half we're going to be in the 60s. So it's going to chill out, but it's not going to be windy. That's the most important thing. Two rods this afternoon. 2 rods, 2 baits. 4 ounces of lead for both lines. Cow hitch to the swivel on this particular one is a leader made out of the same stuff that the main line is. This is 45-pound test coastal brown. This is the same. This leader is 45-pound test coastal brown with a 1/0 night crawler. Could get a flathead here like that or something else. Over here, almost the same. It's the same main line, same lead, same sinker slide. Only difference is we got a different leader. That's 50-pound mono. That's a 6/0 octopus right there, and that's a piece of strawberry chicken, or as I've been loving to say, the special red bait. That's what we're rocking out this afternoon. We could change because we do have a little bit of cut shad and a little bit of perch that we could switch to if these two don't work, but we're gonna start like this. Let's go. I don't always like fishing a neap tide, especially when I'm going to go do saltwater. I really don't like it for saltwater because kind of the reason why I don't like it for the river, but I do like it on the river because they're, especially this time of year, you could still get something on the river at neap tide, but in saltwater you could say the same thing. You'll get something too. The biggest problem with a neap tide is that it stops your current. And current has a lot to do with why fish are where you're at. Nice. Yeah, if this was winter time, I'd probably just stay at the house and maybe run the vacuum cleaner instead of fishing a neap tide. But however, it might feel like winter later when it hits 48. It is in fact not winter. This river right now is at 62 degrees, which is really good. Nice, beautiful. That's the chicken out. I got to admit something here. I changed something off camera before I did the chicken. I brought this one back in, and now I have it about 15 feet to 10 feet, somewhere around there, just in front of this grouping of willows, just right out there in shallower water. At the last minute, I thought, oh, I want to change this because the last time I was here, I just had strawberry chicken, nothing like live bait, which nightcrawler technically is live bait. Anyway, I kept noticing what I think was a big flathead coming up real close to these willows, gulping at bait, probably shrimp, live shrimp, what river shrimp, you know. So this is a time of year where you're going to find not just flatheads, but blue cats and channel cat coming up into these flooded trees. Even though it might seem too shallow for them, they're going to come up right there. They'll be there. We're watching that second rod, the one furthest from us. You see that? Very little subtle shake up there at the top. Something's messing with it. Could be a line bite. Something might be circling the bait, and one of his fins might be clipping the line. You see, there it is again. More pronounced than the first time. Oh, we just had a drop back bite. Did you see that? You see it? It doesn't look like a pronounced slack line. That's not developing, not quite yet. But let's come over here, gently touch the line to feel. I still feel tension. There was a bit of a back drop there. The lead shifted. Oh, here it goes again. You see it picking up and went back. Now it's going down. We want to, oh, we're getting a little, about the same on the nightcrawler line. It's definitely fish because we don't have any nominal current change going on right now yet. There's no ship that has gone by, and it's not a wake. It's not the wind. The wind's at like 1. That means the mosquitoes will be active till it gets cold. Look, there we go. And that is a definite slack line right there. We will adjust it. See, even though it might not be a great tide, it is a good time to come fish. Not because of the neap tide, but because of the time of year. Very active. Water's warm. 62 keeps coming up. Even though it's going to drop to 48 down here tonight, that river tip should hold. This has been going on for long enough, just repeatedly. So after a while, I'll just come over and try to set the hook and replace the bait. Because he's just picking us. He's stripping us. Oh. Well. There we go. Got the skunk off, sort of. The other day I caught one like this, but much bigger. It looked like an albino to me, but I realized after a couple people said it and pointed out, its eyes were still like that, but even more pale than this. You can go back. Yep, he was out there stripping us. I said something about it earlier in this video. I'm going to say it again. Doing back-to-back sessions here with just a little bit of time in between them. We got this one, fishing for cats, and then in several hours at 4 a.m. headed down to Grand Isle to do shark. Don't know if we're going to get any sleep between these two sessions. Wondering which one's going to be better. I mean, this one is still early days here, but we're getting little tiny bites from little tiny fish. Got this night crawler further out now, out around the corner. Still getting pecked at. Fresh chicken on this one, probably going to get pecked at. Something big's got to come around. But a lot of times it's like this during a neap tide here. A lot of little fish are hanging out and not so many big fish. When the tide comes back in, maybe it'll be better. That's usually what I like. But however, at 13 feet, when you have a high tide, you know, if the water's warm, that's cool. But if the water's cold, you need to wear waders because your boots aren't going to come up high enough unless you got them up around your whitey tighties. This is a wake from the ferry. We're just about to lose the light. We're a good hair or two past sunset. Still just getting those little peck bites from the little fish. You see it? You see it happening? That's a little more than your average bait stripper right there. Come on, just take it. Take it down. Here we go. We're hooked up now. And we're in the willows. Just come this way. Try to turn his head. Want to play him around the willows, or at least through a spot in the willows that's not so thick. I can't tell where. We're gonna have some issues here. This is not Moby Dick. I'm pretty sure at the moment anyway. Where's the fish? Here we go. We got him. Oh, he's not tiny either. Got him through those willows, no problem. Oh yeah. It's a few pounds. Neap tides this time of year aren't all bad, but it did take a while to get a bite from something decent like this. This is maybe a 5-6 pound fish right here. We're not going to bother weighing him. We're just going to get him off real quick. I totally take that back. This is probably not a 5 or 6 pound fish. This is probably closer 8 to 10, maybe like 10 pounds. Be a good keeper, but of course we don't have time to cut fish. You want to stay? He's probably going to do a Yui. See you later. He's turning out there now. I am going to call it right here, right now, just to give me more time to get ready for the next session. Maybe I'll get some sleep. Who knows? But yeah, you're right. This will get better once the tides normalize. But I did demonstrate that you can catch something worth keeping if you're keeping. Or you could luck out and get something even bigger. Fishing these tides, these Neap tides, can be poor, but this time of year, they can be okay. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I will see you next time.